Good morning, Rajas. I'm Sophia Alejandre here with Indio ASB for a very special edition of The Rundown. I sat down with a few of our Raja leaders who made it to the LEAD conference in Washington, D.C. to ask them about their experiences there. They started the conversation with a quick recap of some of their favorite memories. Let's take a look.
Okay, I'm Jasmine Guillen. I'm a software class president, and one of the memories I had was getting to meet all the different leaders from different countries. And one takeaway was, even though we all do leadership and it's all linked together, we each go through different situations and each school has different issues that they have to overcome.
Now from our next ASB member.
Hello, I'm Guadalupe and I'm junior class secretary. One of my favorite experiences was the Library of Congress. It was kind of like a museum and I saw some really nice stuff in there. And my favorite thing was, it was like a voice recording from all around the world and they were like saying hi to everyone, and that was really cute. It made me a little emotional. It was adorable. One takeaway from the conference was, it was really amazing seeing all the leaders and how they all work together, and I guess I became a better leader from that. It was a nice experience seeing it.
Hi, I'm Abraham Gonzalez, a senior, and one thing that I liked from the conference is that we went to go sightseeing and seeing all the monuments and saw Abraham Lincoln. But one thing that I liked about the conference is that we got to see people around the country and what they did, what differences they had and similarities. And one takeaway I want to say is that I saw at the conference was that when you're in many things like clubs and sports, it's good to have time for each one, because you don't want to give off 25% or 10% in that thing that you're doing. So you want to be able to have an impact in what you're doing. You want to give off more than 50% in order to have an impact. So you have to give enough time on one thing, because too much is overdoing it.
Hello, I'm Alora Durion. I'm ASB president and I'm a senior at Indio High School. One of my favorite memories was getting a ghost tour in Alexandria. We got a lot of really fun stories. And I also loved going to the Smithsonian because we got to see a lot of First Ladies' attire from iconic historical balls and different moments, and it was really enjoyable to look at. A takeaway from the conference was all the student networking opportunities that we got. We met kids from Texas, New Mexico, Idaho, Virginia, Puerto Rico, and we saw a lot of kids from all over the nation, and it was really amazing to get to connect with them. And I also learned a lot of processes and systems that can be put in place to support students, and so it was really amazing.
Is there any one specific thing that you learned from your various workshops that you would like to implement in the school right away? That's something that will benefit our student body, that you can bring to our pep rallies, student events, dances, anything that you would like to improve on that will directly impact our student body?
I would say after every event that we have that includes the whole student, not just the student body, is create a forum where students can give us feedback, either in person or in the lecture hall, so we can get feedback not only from the students that we always hear every day, but the students who don't get to voice their voice about situations.
All right. Now, is there one fun experience? Because, of course, this is a very informative conference, but is there one fun moment that you guys will hope to hold on to?
One of the workshops that I went to was about building a resume, and it was 3 things that you shouldn't have on your resume, or things that are decreasing the value of your resume as a potential employee. And I met this really nice girl from Puerto Rico, I met her in a different workshop, but I met this really nice girl from New Jersey, and she was really nice, and we got to have really nice conversations, and we chatted a bit about how her student council and our school's ASB can be a little bit different, but we also have a lot of similarities. And so it was really important to learn throughout the conferences and networking with different students how a lot of the systems that schools have for their leadership are very similar but also very different, and it's cool to learn about those differences to see what things work for us and what things work for other schools, to see if we could potentially improve.
All right, that is a beautiful take. Now, do you guys feel that you have grown as a leader from this conference? And if so, how do you hope to benefit the school with your newfound experiences?
One of the conferences, the workshops that I went to was about focusing on yourself first before becoming a leader, because when you take time to yourself to focus on yourself, you come back feeling stronger to be able to help the other people. And I think we should take more time for our leadership program to like de-stress so that we can come back and focus on our projects and be a lot stronger with them.
So one thing that I learned from there was that it doesn't always take one person to do something. Like how they had like a little, basically like a plank, and they put it on your hands, and they showed you how it's like easy to have like some sort of pressure on and having like control of what you have. But once you hold it for a long time and you add more to it, it gets harder and harder. So to like be able to hold that pressure, you're gonna want to ask for help from other people to like succeed in what you're doing.
That was a really good take. I also went to a workshop about leading with resilience, and it kind of ties into what Abraham said about leading through and holding yourself up no matter what. The workshop that I went to about resilience was led by a student leader from Puerto Rico who has Crohn's disease, and him battling through his medical needs and all his procedures that he has to go through, but also maintaining his position in leadership. And it was really inspiring to hear how leadership was so important to him and how he was willing to continue with holding himself up and learning how to deal with all of things on top of his medical needs. So it was really inspiring, and the kids in the conference workshop asked a lot of really important questions about the stuff that he has to do throughout his day, but also how his leadership works. Yeah.
So being able to attend this national conference must have really put into perspective how we run things here at Indio ASB, correct? Now, is there any kind of message you would like to give the student body to be able to understand how much we truly do as a school? Just a little message to put into perspective, because as Indio High School, we do really try to put a lot of effort into all of our projects, all of our pep rallies, all of our events. So is there any one thing that really made you think about our production value?
I would say that in some projects we include not only the student body and clubs, but just kids that aren't involved in anything, because it gets to voice their voice at a bigger level and gives their input better into certain projects that we do.
Adding on to the workshop about resilience, for me, it was really inspiring, because not even just in leadership, but in life, everyone is carrying such a heavy load all the time, and it's important to give ourselves grace and to also support ourselves and each other and hold each other up. It's a really beautiful thing to see like how our school has such a beautiful community of students and Raja leaders and also Raja students that are willing to support each other, as well as Raja staff. I feel like our school as a whole does a really good job of having a tight-knit community, and that's something that I learned to really appreciate in the conference as I saw other schools in action as well.
So of course most of the focus was on this amazing conference, but you all did have some time for sightseeing. You all did get to see a little bit of Washington DC itself. So is there any monuments that stuck out to you guys? Any specific spots that you're able to visit during your time there that you were able to bring back with you to the Valley?
I really liked going through the train station and then going through the tunnels and everything. It was really fresh. I like the breeze, but it wasn't as cold as I expected. There wasn't really that snow, so it was a little bit disappointing. But one funny story that I had was when we when we had the ghost tour, we went to eat Chipotle, and there was kids there, and they just randomly like started chasing each other outside the store. So we got a little scared after that, but it's okay. But that's one of my stories.
One really fun thing that I did was, so I love SpongeBob, and I have this little pocket plush SpongeBob, I call it Pocket Bob, that one of my friends, shout out to Pauline, gifted me a couple of months ago, and I brought SpongeBob on the trip, and I took a lot of pictures with him at the monuments, and the smile on his face just brought so much joy throughout the trip and positivity. And even when I was at the conference too, and I was showing other kids my Pocket Bob, they were so happy to see him. And so one of my favorite memories would probably be spreading joy with SpongeBob.
I'd say mine was on our way to Denver to Palm Springs. our flight was about to be missed. So we were running through the metro and all the elevators and we make sure not to lose anybody. But we made it on time, like 2 minutes. But yeah, it was really funny.
One of my favorite monuments was seeing Abraham Lincoln. It was huge, and there was like, it was nice. It had a lot of like hidden things, and then on the side there was the Gettysburg Address, which was like trigger warning because I had to memorize it last year for English. But I really enjoyed watching it or like seeing it. It was huge.
All right, beautiful takeaways. Now, being able to talk to people from all across the nation, you get to hear about different clubs, organizations that they are with, not just their student council. Is there anything you'd like to say to the Indio students who are watching this right now, who are maybe a little bit nervous about joining a club, a little bit nervous about being involved?
I would have to say that Indio has such a beautiful community, and even if you are nervous to get involved, do it anyways. Get involved, because being involved in, like, I'm involved in so many clubs here at Indio High School, and I've gotten so many beautiful and amazing and unique experiences through each of those clubs. And I feel like my life has been positively impacted by all those experiences, and I've learned so much. And I feel like I wouldn't be the same without those experiences. And so definitely there's always a positive experience to gain from joining clubs. So do it. Don't be afraid. Just do it.
But Laura said that we have a lot of clubs, and it's a good to get involved. We have like a beautiful community, how she said, and that joining a club can really help. It can really help you like be involved in everything. So if you're not in a club, join a club.
Oh, I want to add on. I want to add on too, with our wide variety of clubs, there's always going to be something for everyone. We have so many sports, we have so many arts, and a lot of academic clubs as well. And so with everything that we have here to offer at Indio, we have so much for everybody. So there's always somewhere that someone can find.
That does it for this week's rundown. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at indio.asb. And don't forget, once a Raja, always a Raja.